So boom. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. GM to the death of them. One thing I always told y'all, if you want to know what's going on, follow the pocket change. It's easy to do on YouTube. The newest pocket change crazy. If you want to know what's going on, follow the pocket change. See? And the reason I was so informative about this organ, because I had been following the pocket change already. I tell y'all that all the time. I was studying the U.S. budget. That's how I knew so much about stem cells and NASA. Because that's what the U.S. at that time, I probably can look it up now and it's still the same way. But at that time, they spent all their money on NASA and stem cells. And once that's the NASA, like I told you, NASA wasn't shit to debunk. But when I got into the studies of stem cells and where did they get the stem cells that they wanted from, and what they do with those stem cells, I can't get a break. And what they do with those stem cells, that will put me on game to the organs and everything else that they do.
Okay.
Organs and everything else them niggas do. It did. The main thing they use for stem cells is the clone. I told y'all that 2017. I'm following the pocket change. And they have been doing it for a long time. They brought cloning to the United States by way of a sheep named Dolly. But they used mammaretic stem cell cloning to clone a sheep Dolly. And that was just to introduce the United States public to what's really been going on a long time. See, embryonic cell cloning is when you splice those embryonic cells and make two. And the first successful embryonic cell cloning had taken place on a starfish in Great Britain. This Great Britain, let me let you know that Great Britain was behind time. They was behind time getting to Egypt, and they also was behind time in technology. But the elite pushed them up front like they know something and let them do that because they know they would always be able to keep our minds, the ones that's in the belly of the beast, they keep us fucked up. So they let them push it like they want to push it. But they're not the smartest out in a bunch. They're not. And we can attest that. They never been better than us in sports, music, and that. But they force and try to come up with genetic ways to match our charisma, our style, our mental strength, our physical strength. You know what I'm saying? So let me say that. So if Great Britain, the first successful embryonic cell clone was on a starfish in 1886, 1885, whatever it was. Man, how long had the world been knowing about this type shit? Niggas tripping because on the face said the uterus is the 11th floor. They said they thought it was a game. Man, Monique ain't finna go to jail, man. Girl finna go get that pocket change. Yeah, it came from me following that pocket change, not me chasing that pocket change. And see, niggas had it twisted because they were chasing the pocket change. Nah, that That's how I investigate, by following the money. You follow the money and you understand what's going on. You see, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm still doing. See, the United States got a deficit that's been growing since I was a child. And it's up into the trillions. And one day it's going to be up into the zillions. And the gazillions, if y'all study math, you'll know that how it go. The deficit is up into the trillions. It was once upon a time and shit seemed manageable. Like, well, we're going to pay these hoes back one day. But I done watched the deficit grow since I was a child, man. And they tell you it's only going to get bigger and bigger. The deficit only grows. So that's why the United States is built off debt. You hear me say that, but I don't think you understand what I'm trying to tell you. That the United States is built off debt. Corruption, debt. And the collateral they use is the United States public. And the citizens that get that, the worst of it is the so-called, look, you ain't got to use income. It's the niggas. Yeah. I'm saying all this to say, once I follow the U.S. budget and understand they're in debt, who are they in debt to? So when you listen to Donald Trump a couple of years back and he said, well, I'm the first motherfucking president to get China to goddamn come out their pocket and spend something and tax them and all this old shit. That's where all this tariff shit came from. This nigga. Tariff tax. That shit is just motherfucking people paying their taxes, their water taxes, their trade taxes on water. That's all that is. Nigga, so what? They been paying their tariff tax. What you created a map or created some water, some kind of way where they had to pay an extra tariff tax so you can deliver what you supposed to deliver to them, allegedly body parts and whatever else the fuck they asked the United States to do. Because that's what you're going to do. And see, they are behind. See, the people I'm talking about is behind the Jew, behind the Persian, behind the Arab, behind the Russian, behind China. And then you'll see Japan. Japan run shit. Read that thumbnail. Read that thumbnail. And so we understand NASA's bullshit, what that mean. Let the earth back down flat. That the earth is not a planet, the planet is up top in the heavens. The planets are up top in the heavens, the earth is not a planet. And they sit back and let the white man who come Johnny come late create this thing called the globe. The globe was created by the North. The North is Neanderthal, the North is Alexander the Great, and which become they would have a little rain in Egypt. Out there, everybody else done had their fun and now. They come and so-called defeat Darius the Persian, and they go in there with a Ptolemaic period. And this is where the globe concept will come from, these people. Johnny come late, because this technology has been here millions and millions of years. And that's why I'm trying to show you where Alaska come from. The reason me, ATF, and Truth Out Loud couldn't find Alaska on that map, and we knew it's supposed to be right there, because it wasn't established and named Africa, and he wasn't named Alaska yet. That's why we was having a hard time finding it on that map. We forgot that we was looking at a 1587 map. So we couldn't find Alaska. But it was sitting dead in our face. It don't sit where they say it sits. And when you look at it like on the left side of Canada above your head and push around that left side, it was supposed to be. Now it was 8 miles. I'm really sure it was 8 miles, but now it's 55 miles. 55 miles separation between these two major continents. See, the mountain regions and the continents don't change. The names do. And I'm quite sure it was 8 miles because it was 8 miles that they dug into the Earth's surface, also 7.5 miles or so. But when I first looked into that, It was 8 miles. So I give them that it might be the shortest distance between two islands or something like that. But even with China or Japan being an island that sits far east, it will be sitting, that will make the Tartar Strait. See, people don't know about the Tartar Strait. The Tartar Strait should be posted up in the Indian Ocean if Japan sits far east, like they say. That's Arsenio Hall. That's something to make you say, okay, okay, okay. It will be sitting in the Indian Ocean, not the Pacific or the Arctic Ocean. It will be sitting in the Indian Ocean if Japan sits where they say it sits on the globe. And once we go to breaking down Guana, like I said, we're going to find out a lot of shit because they got Guana posted up on both sides of this globe, which don't exist. And see, the leaders of technology has always been Japan, but we get it by way through China, which is the same people. We was taught Eskimos and Negro, but I can clearly show you statements in the Bible where it said, Ham is the progenitor of all races, all the black races, except the Negro. Okay, and then I got another definition why it'll say the Inuits and the Mongolians are such and such, except the Eskimo. They don't accept the term Eskimo, man. They don't accept the igloo and teepee shit that they put on us in the United States. They don't. So with that being said, once you follow this money and see who got the steering wheel and who's back and who's running the world script, you're going to understand and see. You're going to understand and see who really runs shit behind the scenes and who are the business owners and owner of these trusts and owner and possession of the contract where they're debted out in debt to. And you'll see who's the real owners and who's the nominees. Dig what I'm saying? You'll really see. And so with that being said about the Tartar Strait, it sits right underneath, we'll say, south, because they ain't down. But on the globe it sits right underneath the Anian Strait. And the Anian Strait is a so-called semi-myth, but that's not true either. Because the Anian Strait becomes what they call the Barren Strait. In today's history, the Barren Strait is how they say they came over to the North American continent and populated. I told you, I had a conversation with my cousin, and he told me I tried to tell him that you can't head west and make it to Japan on the other side of it, over to the Indian Ocean, going around the backside of a ball. But he was like, they got recorded trips after World War such and such where they went from California to Japan. Exactly, from California to Japan is nowhere. When you put Japan in its rightful place, it don't sit in the Indian Ocean. It sits in the Pacific. Right near the so-called Arctic ice ocean. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So, I said all that to say that Japan is the powerhouse of the world. And Hollywood is just a baby green screen to keep you distracted and deterred from what's really going on. See, it's a world script being ran, and people are playing up under the guidance of the Mongolian. They will be in debt to China. I used to say, what the fuck they in debt to China for blowing Japan? It don't make sense. But they in debt to Japan also. I mean China also. Hmm? To China also. And you're going to forever be in debt to the UK. Because anytime you go fight for them, anytime we fought war for them, they put us in debt for fighting a war for them. I read up on that shit. But the major person they're in debt to is Japan. Now Japan in turn showed them some technology where they can trick the world, I guess, and say they went to the moon. But in turn, they start racing to get there first, trying to race Russia. Russia ain't trying to beat you there. Russia is a counterpart of China. They want you to be the idiot that put the lie out to the world. So when they come crashing back down, they come crashing back down on you. So now I'm saying, let Elon Musk, this nominee, this so-called richest nigga in the world, tell him to crank some of them spaceships up and seal the perimeter. Because once you throw the earth into the sky, it's a perimeter underneath us too. And if we're in space, it shouldn't be no gravity around us, period, anyway. See, this shit is weight, buoyancy, and density. And they can make a chamber to make things weightless. That don't prove gravity. That don't prove shit holding a ship to the side of the water and then holding the coolers and the gambling machines and the dinner tables and the plates and all that shit. It don't prove that. But like I said, the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. Gotta take my sign over. Follow the money. Follow the money. With that being said, the truth don't need no help. Go check out OnFed 5 and OnFed 3GD for the truth, though. Yeah. Always follow that money. Yeah. It ain't gonna bend, break my fault. I said, well, I said, boom. Yeah, I said, boom. I should have got my motherfucking charger too.